Okay, so, oh man. I was on social media. Don't remember how exactly I came across this news coverage, but just, I guess, scrolling through. Oh, actually, I was watching this video and this TikTok video. And
Jelani doesn't get that same coverage. Jelani doesn't get that same attention because just like Gabby is important, and I can sit in this seat and say I know what her mother is feeling like because she wants her child back. I want my child back too, and I want them to look for my child like they're looking for her. He is not a nobody. He is somebody, and I want him to come back home. I want them to give my son the same attention. And it makes me mad because this young white girl is getting that attention, and my young black son is not.
Jelani Day was last seen on August 24th. His vehicle was found in a wooded area on August 26th. He goes to Illinois State University. Please go do your FBI and detective work and go find.
she was talking about how Gabby has been missing all this time and no one has ever heard about Jelani Day, 25-year-old college graduate actually. And he was studying to become a speech pathologist, a doctor, at a college in Illinois. I'm still getting a lot of information on this case, and a lot of people have different things to say about the situation. Obviously, it's very obvious that the police are kind of just laid back and laxy-daisy, even with the news coverage. Like, they interviewed a police officer. I don't know if that officer is particularly working on this case or not, but he seemed real laid back and just like, as if he was just talking about a football game. Like, there was no sense of urgency in his voice, no sense of concern. He was just real simple with it.
Stop and listen. You should care.
So, I mean, people are pretty much doing a really good job as far as, getting the word out and reposting on social media. It's very unfortunate that it took this long for it to start circulating social media, because he has been missing since August 23rd. And yeah, it's just a really sad situation. He is one of 5 children, and it seems like, the siblings are pretty close, as close as they can be. It's just a lot of question marks about this situation. Like, just me looking at his pictures and just kind of trying to dig a little deep into this story without having too many details, without having too many facts. It seems as though, he was just trying his best to be a successful black man in America. Seems like there was some odds against him. We don't really know what those odds were. Don't want to speculate, because I don't want to add any confusion to this already chaotic story or situation. I don't want to speculate and cause any confusion to the investigation. I mean, not to say that my voice is going to reach that far, but I just don't want to be that person to put information out there that is not valid, is not true. But I'm really trying my best to kind of just dig deep into this story because um, there's a lot of information, a lot of silent information. There's a lot of silent information that we're not getting. I feel like the mom has some information that we're not privy of. And the reason why I say that is because in the interview she mentioned, whoever has her child, whoever has her baby, surrender him. It seems like it's some type of, what's the word that I'm looking for? It seems like it's some type of hostage situation. What is it called when you hold someone hostage in return for money? Like ransom. It seems like it's some type of ransom, or maybe she's aware that he was in some type of financial trouble, and I'm sure one of the siblings was able to get some information according, because they I'm sure they follow each other. If he was on Snapchat, because I think I heard somebody mention that he wasn't on Instagram, and that to me is kind of suspicious. That speaks volumes because most young people are on IG, and only reason why somebody wouldn't be on IG is for certain reasons. And again, I'm not going to speculate. I'm just going to say, it's not typical for young people, a young person, especially like Jelani Day, who, should be on social media because the assumption is he should be on social media because he is young, number one. He's part of a fraternity. He graduated college. Like, those are all so many great reasons why you should be bragging and boasting on social media. But usually people who are very to themselves and got some other stuff going on, they usually don't be on social media. So I'm kind of treading lightly with this story, with this, because I don't, like I said, I don't want to misspeak, and I don't want to say anything wrong or make any assumptions that's going to cloud anyone's judgment or anything like that. But it is a very, very interesting case, and I do hope that whoever is responsible for this missing of this young man, I hope that, justice is served. And I mean, it's a sad story overall for everyone because, like, I'm thinking to myself, like, damn, like, I'm going to have that conversation with some family members of mine, remind them to follow your instincts. And if something is bothering you, communicate. It seems like another thing, it seems like something was bothering him. And the reason why I say that is because, according to the mom's statement, she said that he called her just to hear her voice. And to me, that indicates that something was wrong, something was off. And he didn't want to talk about it either. He didn't want to talk about it because he was trying to figure it out. As a young man, he trying to, handle his business. The pressure that people put on young black men to grow up and be men is so much pressure. And so maybe he felt like he was handling the situation to the best of his ability. He was going to figure it out. He didn't want to worry her. He didn't want to stress her out. Or maybe he was embarrassed about the situation, because it seemed like she was very proud of him. She, was very mama bearish towards him, like, oh, that's my baby, So maybe he didn't want to let her down. He didn't want to disappoint her. And it seems like she was very proud of him because, of his accomplishments. So that was probably like a high bar, to a high standard to keep up with. That was probably also another pressure. So whatever it is that he was dealing with, it seems as though he did not communicate to his mom. Or maybe he tried and he just felt like, you know what, I'm going to just handle this on my own. And that's a real life thing, because I have brothers and I know they've been through some things that we don't even know about, because boys are raised to just internalize and just deal with shit and without the emotions. They're not afforded the permission to be afraid or to cry or to be scared or to any of those things that that we know of in a Black community. So I feel bad about that. Like, whatever it was he was going through, like, he wasn't able to talk to nobody. Like, nobody knows nothing. Like, somebody gotta know something. Like, this young man can't be that. He can't be that quiet. That's basically what I'm looking for. But that's not the word that I'm looking for, but it's kind of like what I'm trying to say. He can't be that quiet. He was kind of flashy, he was flashy. He had nice clothes. He had, nice car. So he was flashy, but why not? Why not be flashy, But I don't know if that made him a target. Maybe somebody was jealous of him. Maybe somebody thought that he had more money than he really had. I don't know if maybe... I'm just looking at the picture of the car right now. They have some red tape on the door. I don't know if that's... Let me see. His windows was tinted really, really dark. So, yeah, he was definitely the type of individual that was really kind of low-key with it. I just hope that he wasn't into no bad business. It's just a really sad situation. I hate to say this, but I am kind of curious about what his sexuality was. I mean, not that his sexuality has, and don't go roasting me in the comments like, I'm just saying the more information, the better. It will kind of direct us and guide us to the tragedy. That's the only reason why I'm bringing this up. But I feel like I'm curious to know what his sexuality was, because again, I feel like those would be some type of crumbs that will lead us towards finding out what happened, what occurred. Did he have a girlfriend? Was he, homosexual? Was he into men? Like, what was the situation? Let's not act surprised, because, we're living in a totally different day. And even though we're living in a day where it's embraced and, it's accepted, it's not accepted in everybody's family. It's not accepted in everybody's community. So we don't know if there was some secrets that he was struggling with. And it's really sad, because it's like, damn, he already had to live with the secrets. So now, is he going to be buried with them as well? I mean, the family has a right to their privacy, but it's like, I feel like, I mean, they don't owe the public any type of explanation or any specific details once this everything is like kind of discovered. But it kind of would help us as a community to bring awareness about what did this young man struggle with, what was his troubles, so that we could educate and be informed, and be aware so that we can possibly save maybe our own family member, or a young man that we come into contact with, So I just really hope that whatever the situation is, we do get some information regarding, and not just like shut the public out. Like, okay, we found him. Okay, now please respect our privacy type thing. I really hope they don't do that, because it's like you rung the alarm about this. Now everybody is sharing and spreading the word. It would just be nice for us to know exactly what happened. How can we do better as a community moving forward? So that's the reason why, just to clarify, because I know people be quick on this YouTube platform to jump and say crazy things without even listening to the full message. So had to clear myself up before y'all jump down my throat about it. But I'm gonna pretty much keep staying on top of this, like staying informed about this story with Jelani Day. But until the next time that I come on, if anybody has any information regarding this matter, even if you saw the slightest thing and you feel like it's not really significant, it doesn't mean anything, it means something. Let the investigators do their job. Please provide any information that you may know, anything that you heard about, even if it's a rumor. Let them know, because, even if it's a rumor, even if it's gossip, even if it's speculation, you heard something, let them know. Give them the information. Let them sift through all that information for them to determine what's real and what's not real. So you can call the number 309-820-8888. The number again is 309-820-8888. And I got this information off of Instagram. It's a page that's Dateline Missing in America. Just as a kind of review of what is being said about his last appearance. They last heard from him on Monday, August 23rd, 2021, when he called his family and texted his Illinois State University program director about an upcoming assignment. That particular phone call, I think his mom said that she was not available to take the call, and so she didn't speak to him that day or something like that. But he texted the family. I'm not sure which family member they're talking about. On Tuesday, he was last seen on security cameras at ISU Student Center in Normal, Illinois, where he last used his bank card. Police located his white 2010 Chrysler 300 in a wooded area of Peru, Illinois on August 26. So they last heard from him on Monday, but then on Tuesday, according to what this is saying, they saw him on the security cameras. His professor also came forward and did say that she reported him missing. His mom reported him missing. Oh, so I kind of, my kind of intuitive watch made me notice something. I don't know if this has anything to do with him specifically, but I couldn't help but to notice that in the picture that they have of him on security video on from Tuesday, August 24th, that shows him entering a cannabis store. I believe it was a cannabis store, Beyond Hello in Bloomington at 9:12 a.m. I get a really bad feeling about this situation. I feel like whatever it was that he was going through, he couldn't talk to his mom about it. And I feel that very strongly. I feel like this young man was carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders I feel like it was a situation that he kind of got himself into without realizing how deep and the depth of how it can go and what it could be. And I feel like he really didn't want to let his mom down. He didn't want to be a failure in his family's eyes. They looked up to him. You know, they had a lot of invested in him, a lot of emotional investment, expectations of him. He was in a high ranking, and oh yeah, I just get a really bad feeling about this. Just even the pictures that he's with his family, it's like this young man is so serious looking. Like, he looks so much older than what he really was. He looks so much more mature. You could tell he's still a baby because he got a baby face, but just his posture was very mature. This picture of him in a cannabis store, it almost looks like there's like a shock factor. Like, he doesn't want to be seen on camera. I know some people were saying, like, you know, he was looking at the camera maybe to give like some type of signal, but I feel like if that was the case, he would have took his hat off. But he kept his hat on, so I feel like he didn't really want to be seen on that camera. And whatever it was that he was dealing with that moment, it wasn't a proud moment for him. It just really looked like he was just, you know, just trying to stay afloat and make his family proud. I did notice that he was wearing a Jimi Hendrix shirt. And if anybody, I did some research because I'm not going to pretend like I know much about Jimi Hendrix because I don't. But, I mean, I've heard of the name, but I don't know who that guy is. But I did some research on Jimi Hendrix. And Jimi Hendrix was an American musician. Surprisingly, he died on September 18th, 1970. Jimi Hendrix died September 18th, 1970. I feel like there's a message there. I feel like there's a spiritual message there. I don't want to be pessimistic and just like believe that the worst has happened. I want to keep some faith, some hope alive. But I just really kind of took note of that Jimi Hendrix, the shirt that he's wearing, that Jelani Day, the shirt that Jelani Day is wearing on one of the last photos, if that's the last photo, on a surveillance camera, he's wearing a Jimi Hendrix shirt, and Jimi Hendrix passed away. He died on September 18th, 1970. So as y'all know, today's date is September 22nd. And Jelani was last seen on August 25th. So we didn't really start hearing about this case. It didn't really start trending until really this week. So if Jelani did in fact really admire Jimi Hendrix the way he wore the shirt, there was like some type of connection. And I feel like if it's true, because I don't know, maybe their spirits intertwined and they're sending us a message. What was the other thing that I noticed? Okay, so according to Jimi Hendrix, he had a drug addiction. I don't want to say that I'm thinking that Jelani had a drug addiction. I'm not feeling that. I'm feeling that maybe he did use, drugs to cope and to relieve stress and to stay focused. But I don't see him necessarily having an addiction. I do sense there was some type of struggle with school. Because the professor did say that something about they needed to meet in regards to his paper or his exam, something like that. So there was something going on where there was something going on in regards to school. I definitely feel that heavy. Because that's what he was passionate about. That's what he was focused on. That's what he invested most of, if not all his time in school. That seemed like that was his pride and joy. So I think that's it for now. Like I said, I'll continue to follow this story and hopefully, this news coverage. And hopefully, we will find out more details about what really happened to this young man. And I really do hope and pray that they find him alive. I really, really do. Because he seemed to want it so much for his future. I mean, he graduated, okay? Like, he graduated college. So that really speaks to the level of commitment that he had towards his career. It's definitely a tragedy. I really hope that they did not trash the car. So that tells me that it wasn't necessarily a robbery. Like, I don't feel like it was a robbery. And I don't feel like it was a low level. Whatever it was, I don't feel like it was low level. I feel like it was high. Some intelligent people. This wasn't like criminal minded, like low people. This was like, I feel like whoever did this were intelligent people. I really feel that, because they drove his car far, far away. It seemed like they knew what they were doing, but they really didn't know what they was doing. But they weren't that stupid. I feel like whatever it was, they wanted him to be, they wanted, it's really hard to say. It's really hard to say, because if somebody killed this young man and didn't want any sign of him to be found, they would have burnt the car. They would have put the car in some type of water or whatever. They would have did something more. But I feel like maybe they really thought it out and was like, we don't want to get caught buying any tools, any supplies. We don't want to get, receipts. We don't want to get caught on camera doing that. So we're going to drive his car and and ditch the car. And then they also ditched his wallet. So they drove the car, they ditched the car, and then they also ditched the wallet. They ditched the lanyard, his ID. They ditched his clothes. So, I'm curious to know who was the young man that was found in the water. That's another reason why I say I would like to know what was his sexuality. Because if he was into men, then that kind of like gives us some type of direction of what really happened, or what could have possibly happened, I should say. So I know I keep saying that's it for now, but things keep coming up and I'm just like, oh my gosh. It seems like this young man had two sides to him. You ever know those people who are quiet and it's like they're very secretive, they're very what's the word? Secretive and mysterious. That's the word, mysterious. Seemed like he was very mysterious. So I'm getting some vibes. Mysterious people are very interesting people, and they go through so much that so many people that their closest family members don't even know what they're going through. Again, I'm looking at the picture of the car, and they have red tape on the doors, like a strip of red tape or some type of red something on the door. I would not be surprised if they don't find any type of fingerprints in this car. I wouldn't be surprised about that. Because like I said, I feel like whoever did this these were intelligent people. These weren't like your street thugs. Because street niggas don't care. They don't care. They just dirty about it. They'll just blast you right then and there. And it'll be real nasty and ugly and dirty. But this, I feel like what happened, this is some educated people. I really feel like whoever did this, these people were smart. Whether they're young or old, they kind of smart. So, okay, seriously, for now, I am done with Jelani Day. I will stay up to date as to what's going on. And like I said again, if y'all come across any information, the number to call is 309-820-8888. 309-820-8888. So y'all stay safe out there and stay tuned.